Welcome to Wellness and Mindfulness Digest 2026-0611. Today's 12 stories. Story 1, Neural and Autonomic Regulation During Brief Mindfulness and Relaxation Interventions in Clinical Populations, a Multimodal MEG Study Protocol. Story 2, Adding Gratitude to Your Meditation Makes It Work Better. Story 3, 10-Minute Yoga to Reset Your Mind and Body. Story 4, 7 Essential Hip Stretches in Yoga That Won't Bother Your Knees. Story 5, Global Wellness Day 2026, Why the New Generation is Shifting to Mental Wellness Post-Pandemic. Story 6, Breathwork for Nervous System Regulation, Healing Through Breath. Story 7, The Vagus Nerve, Breathwork, Humming, and the Gut-Brain Connection. Story 8, International Yoga Day 2026, Common Yoga Myths That Need a Reality Check. Story 9, Yoga for Healing, Nurturing Body, Mind, and Spirit, Weill Cornell Medical Program. Story 10, Visualization Meditation, a simple way to improve focus. Story 11, 11 most important stretches for the ultimate full-body routine. Story 12, When is International Yoga Day 2026? Theme, Health Benefits, and Beginner Poses. Story 1, Neural and Autonomic Regulation During Brief Mindfulness and Relaxation Interventions in Clinical Populations, a Multimodal MEG Study Protocol. Today we are looking at a wellness guide from NewsBites app that walks readers through the practice of visualization meditation as a tool for improving focus and managing stress. Published in June 2026 and written by Vanita Jain, the article lays out 5 practical techniques designed to be accessible to anyone, whether you have been meditating for years or are just getting started. So what exactly is visualization meditation? At its core, it is the practice of deliberately creating vivid mental images, either of peaceful environments like a quiet beach or a forest, or of yourself successfully achieving a goal. The idea is that by training your mind to hold and sustain these mental pictures, you build the capacity for deeper concentration and calm. The article argues this is simple enough for anyone to try, and it does not require any equipment or prior experience. The 5 techniques outlined are: first, imagining a peaceful scene in rich sensory detail to calm a distracted mind. Second, visualizing yourself succeeding at a task to build motivation and confidence. Third, using guided imagery audio recordings, which walk you through breathing exercises alongside mental imagery. Fourth, pairing your visualizations with slow, deep breathing to anchor yourself in the present moment. And fifth, practicing every single day so that the habit becomes automatic over time. Why does this matter? In an era where attention is increasingly fragmented by digital media, non-pharmaceutical tools for improving focus are in high demand. Visualization techniques have legitimate backing in sports psychology and clinical stress research, even though this particular article does not cite that evidence. The mention of guided audio recordings is also timely given the explosive growth of meditation apps like Calm and Headspace, which have brought structured audio-guided practice to tens of millions of users worldwide. The main caveat here is that this is a lifestyle guide, not a research paper. There are no clinical studies cited, no expert quotes, and no recommended session lengths. Readers looking for evidence-based depth will need to look elsewhere. But as an entry point into a practice with real potential benefits, it does its job clearly and accessibly. Story 2, Adding Gratitude to Your Meditation Makes It Work Better. Today we are looking at a republished classic from Yoga Journal, originally written by Judith Hanson Lassater, and first appearing in the May-June 1996 issue of the magazine. In June 2026, Yoga Journal brought this article back as part of its curated archives series, and the timing raises an interesting question. What does it mean when a 30-year-old fitness guide is considered still relevant enough to republish for a modern audience? The article presents 11 foundational stretches designed to target the most important areas of the body for overall flexibility, starting with the hamstrings, which Lassater identifies as the cornerstone of lower body mobility. The hamstrings, she explains, are directly connected to the pelvis and lower back, meaning that loosening them creates a cascade of benefits throughout the entire posterior chain. Each stretch in the series is recommended to be held for 30 seconds per side, without forcing, bouncing, or allowing someone else to push you deeper into the pose, and the full series should be practiced at least 6 days a week for meaningful improvement. Lassater frames regular stretching as equally important as strength training and cardiovascular exercise in a complete fitness program, and she argues that people who skip stretching set themselves up for a painful cycle. The less they stretch, the tighter they become, and the tighter they become, the more stretching hurts, until injury eventually forces the issue. Why does this matter today? The republication itself is telling. The fact that Yoga Journal chose to resurface this 1996 piece suggests the publication sees enduring value in foundational instructional content. And from a fitness science perspective, the core guidance here remains largely sound, particularly the caution against ballistic or forced stretching, which is consistent with modern physical therapy recommendations. The main caveat is that the article was written before the contemporary sports science debate around static versus dynamic stretching really took hold. Readers following current athletic performance guidance may want to supplement this with more recent research. But as a practical, accessible introduction to building a full-body flexibility habit, it holds up remarkably well. Story 3. 10-minute yoga to reset your mind and body. On June 21, 2026, the world will mark the 12th International Day of Yoga, and this year's event carries a theme with significant public health implications. Yoga for Healthy Aging. Published by News 18 on June 12, 2026, this article from journalist Niban Vinod lays out the history, meaning, and key details of the annual observance, with Kolkata serving as India's primary host city for the celebration. The story of International Yoga Day is itself a remarkable piece of modern diplomatic history. In 2014, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi proposed the idea at the United Nations General Assembly. Less than 3 months later, on December 11, 2014, the UN adopted a resolution declaring June 21 as International Yoga Day, with the backing of a then-record 175 member states. The first observance took place in 2015, and since then it has grown into one of the largest coordinated wellness events in the world, drawing participation from governments, schools, health organizations, and millions of individuals. The date itself, June 21, is not arbitrary. It falls on the summer solstice, the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere, which holds deep significance in yogic tradition as a moment tied to the transmission of ancient knowledge. The 2026 theme, Yoga for Healthy Aging, is particularly timely. The global population aged 60 and over is expected to exceed 2 billion by 2050, creating enormous pressure on healthcare systems worldwide. By positioning yoga as a response to the physical and mental challenges of aging, International Yoga Day is aligning a 5,000-year-old practice with one of the defining public health priorities of the 21st century. Beyond the health angle, this event also functions as a vehicle for Indian soft power on the world stage. India's central role in organizing and promoting International Yoga Day has reinforced the country's global cultural influence in a way few other diplomatic initiatives have managed. For the wellness industry, it is also a significant commercial moment, driving engagement for yoga studios, apps, athletic brands, and health tourism operators around the world every single year. Story 4. 7 essential hip stretches in yoga that won't bother your knees. Yoga Journal provides 7 carefully selected hip-opening yoga poses that offer deep release while protecting the knees, making them accessible for practitioners with joint sensitivities. This kind of safety-conscious, body-aware sequencing reflects modern somatic yoga principles. It supports both physical well-being and the mind-body connection through mindful movement. Story 5, Global Wellness Day 2026. Why the new generation is shifting to mental wellness post-pandemic. A wellness expert examines the generational shift toward mental wellness practices in the post-pandemic era, emphasizing authenticity, emotional balance, and inner peace as core drivers. The article highlights how younger generations are turning to mindfulness, self-awareness, and honest self-reflection to find greater peace and emotional stability. It offers a timely cultural perspective on the growing wellness movement in 2026. Story 6, Breathwork for Nervous System Regulation, Healing Through Breath. This article explains how specific breathwork techniques help retrain the autonomic nervous system to shift more efficiently between stress and relaxation states. It covers the physiological mechanisms behind breath-based nervous system regulation and offers practical techniques for daily use. The content is grounded in mind-body science and accessible for self-practice. Story 7, the vagus nerve, breathwork, humming, and the gut-brain connection. Washington Post highlights the vagus nerve's central role as an information superhighway connecting the brain, gut, and stress response system, with practices like breathwork and humming shown to improve its regulation. This speaks directly to growing scientific interest in vagal tone as a key marker of holistic well-being. The Post succinctly bridges neuroscience with accessible daily wellness practices. Story 8, International Yoga Day 2026. Common yoga myths that need a reality check. In honor of International Yoga Day 2026, a yoga expert dispels common misconceptions about the practice, emphasizing yoga as inclusive, accessible, and transformative beyond physical postures. The article invites a deeper understanding of yoga's full spectrum, mental, emotional, and spiritual, rather than reducing it to flexibility or fitness. This kind of myth-busting supports broader, safer participation. Story 9, Yoga for Healing, Nurturing Body, Mind, and Spirit, Weill Cornell Medical Program. Weill Cornell Medicine is hosting a medical somatic yoga group visit that merges ancient yoga practices with modern wellness techniques to promote physical and emotional healing. The program, led by a nurse practitioner and yoga instructor, focuses on musculoskeletal health and emotional well-being in a medically supervised setting. This represents a credible, evidence-informed integration of yoga into healthcare. Story 10, Visualization Meditation, a simple way to improve focus. This practical guide introduces visualization meditation as an accessible technique for enhancing mental clarity, concentration, and focus. 5 distinct methods are outlined, making the practice approachable for beginners and those looking to deepen their meditation toolkit. It bridges meditation with cognitive performance goals like focus and attention. Story 11, 11 most important stretches for the ultimate full-body routine. Yoga Journal presents 11 essential stretches to build a complete full-body routine, offering expert-guided movement for flexibility, recovery, and physical well-being. The article is well-structured for practitioners seeking to complement their yoga or meditation practice with restorative movement. It supports sleep quality and physical recovery as part of a holistic wellness approach. Story 12, When is International Yoga Day 2026? Theme, Health Benefits, and Beginner Poses. This News 18 feature covers International Yoga Day 2026 on June 21, including its annual theme, the history and significance of the event, documented health benefits of yoga, and a selection of beginner-friendly poses. It serves as a useful introductory resource for new practitioners and those exploring yoga's broader cultural and health context. The content is timely and grounded in accessible wellness education.